businesses that are actually not getting caught into the same rot and trying to actually perpetuate these problems that we as a country are facing, we as a nation are facing. So, though you wanted me to talk about something, I diverted a little bit, but partly because it was actually influenced by the discussion I had with an entrepreneur operating right in Nagpur here, whom we were very interested in investing, but would struggle to invest because of the challenges that you have in dealing with the government businesses.
Thank you. Ravi, we are all anxious to know what makes you come to Nagpur, what is the investment that you've done, and some of the key lessons that you've learned out there. So,
so I'll focus on the second one. This is not working. Check. Working? No? Somebody's cut the wire. It's working. Right.
Maybe the confidentiality clause.
So I'll talk about the second part. I come to Nagpur for various reasons. Like I go to Baroda and Solapur and Nasik and many other places. That's something wrong.
Can someone check the mics, please? Can we have one more?
If I shout, can you hear me from there? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
there
you
good. Have.
Check. Yeah. Right. So like I said earlier, I'm a part of this group of angel investors called Indian Angel Network. They're actually a very large group of 200 plus individuals who have decided to invest small amounts of money in young upcoming startups. They made about, I think, 45 investments in the last 7 years. I became a member only 2 years ago. So a few months ago, a young company from Nagpur came to us, mentored by a Thai charter member, Thai Nagpur charter member called Jay Chopde. And then I didn't know this company. I didn't know Jay Chopde. I've never come to Nagpur. But somehow the thought of encouraging entrepreneurship, particularly at a startup level, really strong entrepreneurship appealed to me. So Jay and me worked with this company for a few months. And then in maybe a month ago, we closed a small transaction investment in this company. And yesterday we announced to media. The company is called Rank Junction, and the promoter Samir is sitting right here. Samir, just stand up and raise your hand. So that's actually Indian Angel Network's first ever investment in Nagpur, and not just IAN. Even the fact that one of the corporate angel firms from Singapore decided to, who is also IAN member, decided to also invest along with us. Also, is a great testimony to the fact that this is a business that we believe in. Sorry. No, this is GITPX. So there are 4 or 5 things that really appeal to us when we look at Rank Junction. Right? Rank Junction is a independent platform where young people who are preparing for competitive exams can come and take tests and see their ranking, simulated ranking across a variety of a bunch of their peers coming from all sorts of coaching classes. That means he could be coached by one coaching class for engineering, I could be another, and both of us can go to Rank Junction and see our potential ranking across hundreds and thousands of other people who are also competing for the same exam. So it's a huge value addition to the students who are preparing for exams, and a very, very unique and specific need over there. So we liked it because it's the education sector, right? It's a very, very large sector. It's close to 450 lakh crores. So I don't even know how many zeros you have to put to get to that number, right? That's education. Within education, Samir's team has identified a very simple and specific need. That how do people know ahead of the exam what is their likely rank to be? So this is number 2. The third reason we like them is that Samir and his wife are fully committed to the business. Between them, they have got 25 years of experience, so they're not particularly inexperienced, and have sunk enough of their own money. In fact, the kind of money many startups raise from a early stage VC, right? Put their own money. That means they are really committed to the business. So we like that. We like the fact that the regulation is giving us a tailwind. So as many of you probably know, the HRD ministry and the India government wants most of our competitive exams to be common, to be national, and to be online. They don't want multiple universities and running multiple kinds of tests, various kinds of formats and standards and so on and so forth. So everything is getting standardized and national. So that helps them in a way. And the other fifth thing we liked is that when they came to us, they had already had business traction. So they had real users and thousands of them on their website. There are people interacting with the company on SMSs, tens of thousands of people interact with them. They had several hundred paying customers, which is a strong proof of concept that is a business which is creating value for people and not just suiting the need of the entrepreneur and so on and so forth. So all that we liked. So we're really happy. Yesterday we announced the, we don't call it a deal because sometimes that gives a very funny kind of connotation. It's an investment. We believe it's a fantastic and sustainable business that creates value for the community, for students, as well as for investors and the entrepreneur. So,
thank you, Ravi. So you know now whom to contact. Ravi is there for any social business. Vineet is there, so not to worry on the capital.
Just put a social after your company name and then go to him.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Guys, we are running out of time. We'll have one quick question from my side and then throw the house open for Q&A. Turbulent times, I mean, thriving in turbulent times. So what are the quick 3-4 things that we as entrepreneurs should focus on in these times? Just 1 minute answer and then.
Conserve capital if you have. I think one advice I have given to a lot of people, which actually doesn't apply to me, which is stay focused. Actually, if you are a good entrepreneur and if you are in turbulent time, don't stay focused, because if you are trying to stay focused, chances of you surviving is very low. At least that's true to me. If I would have only tried to raise money for Avishkar, I would have actually gone bankrupt and wouldn't have been around. So I set up, did multiple things at the same time to stay afloat till the time the turbulent time passed. So sometimes good advice may not work, while contexts and challenges on the ground are very different from what the advisor is giving to you. In good times, staying focused is actually the right thing. But during turbulent and bad times, possibly staying focused may not be the best thing. Again, this actually depends on context, situations, and where you are. And most of you, if you have taken a decision to be an entrepreneur, you will know what to do and how to do it. I'm just trying to tell you that advice given with the best of interest may not be the right advice at that point of time.
So to say, de-risk yourself. Probably that's the mantra. Ravi, over to you.
So first of all, it's a cliche probably, but we know that many people use turbulence to their advantage, right? And I think the secret sauce to that is each of us individually have to assess what's our risk appetite. So if your risk appetite is good, you can ride the turbulence and make money from it. But if it's not good, if it's not high, maybe you should conserve your cash, stretch your dollar or rupee as long as you can, and so on and so forth. So those are the two things I would say. One other thing I would say is that part of the process of being aware of your own risk appetite is to avoid what is called premature scaling. I think scaling is a big term in startup and businesses, and everybody wants to scale because it sounds good. So what are you doing these days? I'm working on scaling plan, and I'm scaling. I'm borrowing money to scale or hire people. I think you should be careful that I'm told that premature scaling kills more businesses than anything else. So you just have to be careful that don't scale prematurely. And if at all you have to go to somebody for money, I would say in turbulent times, it's your customer. No money is more secure than your customer's money, right? It's just logic. So if your customers give money, scale by all means. If you have to run to VCs and other people for money, now, these days, first of all, the ticket sizes have come down, so you're not going to get a lot of money. You're going to get far less than what you think you deserve or need. Second of all, they're going to drive down the valuation that you think you should be raising money. And so pretty much everything is almost, I would say, adverse. So I would say be very careful, take customer money as much as you can, be aware of, all this angel and VC money. Unless you really have got a proper customer-driven scale plan, then you'll get money anyway.
So I'm just trying to bundle 2-3 sessions and say, we often hear cash is king, cash is God. So cash is wife. That is what we are saying. Be careful with the cash. So cash is your wife. Okay. So over to the audience now for some quick question and answers from the eminent panel out here.
Money lenders in India. So can those money lenders be organized to create this capital fund?
It's not 700 million. Villages are 600,000 only. 700.
Villagers, I said.
600,000 villages, 700 million people.
Villagers.
People.
Okay.
Villagers.
Yeah, see, money lenders actually have a very different context, and their strength and capacity lies from not being organized. So you organize them, then they will become like microfinance institutions. And things that are actually unorganized actually thrive in an unorganized form. So why is a money lender lending at 60% is still useful? Because poor actually also does portfolio management. He takes money from the money lender for extreme urgencies. For example, a microfinance institution gives money normally only for livelihood projects. But so if you have a death in your family, where will you get the money from? Nobody is going to lend to you for that. A money lender will. And you cannot organize that aspect. So his ability that he is available to you 12 o'clock at night in a village, that he can give you money without any security simply because he knows you for 3 generations. And that cannot be organized. So I think his strength is not being organized. Trying to organize them may actually kill the advantage that they have. Okay, now do you want to set up a venture capital fund? Well, again, the contexts are different. Venture capital funds and lending are 2 different businesses. Cannot be really compared with each other. So don't think it's possible, but one can try always.
So, gentlemen there.
Hello. On a lighter note, I just remember reading somewhere, don't marry for money, you can borrow it cheaper. Just struck me when our friend spoke a little while ago. Coming to a serious question, I am more into insurance sales to HNIs, but I am also trying to do this in a social way to smaller income groups, like the sabzi wala, the maids and all that. I think they need it much more because the death of a family, earning member who is earning only one member in the family can be very disastrous for the whole family. Now, what happens is that their incomes fluctuate, during the year. I know that they can afford, on an average basis, you take an average over a year, they can afford a small size insurance package. But when it comes to month, they have a problem. So I was thinking, is there some kind of, financing arrangement which our friend who are in the social the circle in this kind of thing can make it happen so that, they are able to do this funding operation and sustain their insurance level, which is, in tune with their requirement. Thank you.
Very quickly, actually, a large number of microfinance institutions actually bundle the insurance project along with them, especially the life insurance. And one of the reasons is actually, as you highlighted, the need for insurance is much higher in the lower income group than it is actually at the higher income group. Partly because the exposure to the volatility in life. So micro insurance schemes, actually Government of India has been pushing them pretty hard as well. And there is actually a renewed vigor to actually come up with cash flow based insurance schemes, still in pretty early stage of thinking. But there are lots of work being done in micro insurance space right now.
Hello, sir. My question is to Mr. Ravi Kiran. My name is Vineet. I'm from a small place called Yavatmal near Nagpur. The thing is, you talked about premature scaling kills business. So I just want to ask, what's the right time to scale your business? Because I've started a business. Since last 1 year, I'm into waste management. I own a small plant in Yavatmal. I have taken a project loan, so completely funded by bank, close to 1 crore. So what my parents and my mentors say is, first repay your loan, is for 5 years. After that, when you are completely on your own, start your next venture and all. But being as in, I'm just 28, so like normal thinking hota hai, yaar, I want to expand. I have many more ideas, similar product line, different product line, similar industry. So should I wait for my loan to get repaid, or what's the right time? That's what I want.
So first of all, for me to give you a straight answer on the spot in 30 seconds will be insulting entrepreneurship. You need to find a local mentor, including TiE. That's number one, for you to give you a proper, consistent answer over a period. But having said that, let me give you my quick couple of thoughts. There is no one right or wrong time to scale. Every business has to decide for itself what's the right time to scale. What I was saying earlier is that premature scaling can come to a different business at different points of time. If you scale with your own money, or even with debt, or customer money, that means customers are paying. Sometimes in B2B businesses, customers pay you in advance. So you can hire people, you can set up offices with customers' money. That's very different kind of money. I think you're talking about either a bank debt or equity, right? Bank debt is okay to take as long as you know you can service it. You cannot afford to put yourself into a what is called a debt trap, that you're taking from one bank to pay to another. You know, I don't want to take names, but you know large companies which have gone down under recently because of such, right? The other thing I would advise you is that even if you have like 5 ideas in a mind, be careful in bringing out all of them together. Then they will clash. You've got one business, take it to a level that you're proud of. Use your own money, preferably internal, with some bank funding if you have, so that you can decide when to bring in the other business. I think the point you made is not about I want to scale my own business, current business. You're saying, can I start new businesses? I would strongly advise you, from little that you have told me now, to be very, very careful about starting 5 businesses in 2 years. Unless you are sitting on piles of your own cash and you can afford to burn on all 5. So I would say give one business a very, very good shot. Take as long as it takes. Some people can take 3 years, some can take 7. Until you are really proud that this business is now on its own legs and it's got enough money, right? And maybe this business cannot scale more. If that business can scale more, why would you not use those internal efficiencies to scale the business instead of starting another one? So that's what I would say. Just be careful about starting multiple businesses. Decide to scale when you think the